So the church in Botswana is definitely growing. When I very first got there, they only had 3 wards, and they had about 7 different branches. And they were sharing a stake with the Rudaport stake, which is actually in South Africa. So it's in a completely different country. All of the stake leaders were from South Africa, so it made it really difficult to have stake interviews. But about 7 months after I was there, Botswana actually became its very own stake. And so we went from the 3 wards to 7 wards. We still have 2 groups up north and another branch up north. And those are now no longer part of the Rudaport stake, but they are part of the Botswana-Namibia Mission stake territory now. Right now, due to residency, we don't have very many missionaries. We have roughly 8 or 9 missionaries. Before, we used to have about 64. The residency became a really big issue in Botswana and in a lot of the African countries. Missionaries just cannot get the residency, and so they are being shuffled around to different missions. So there's many problems with the residency, depending on the different country. In Botswana, there's a lot of controversy over the church. There's a lot of controversy over the American people, and even about adoption. Most people don't know this, but you can't adopt outside of Botswana. And a few years ago, a member of the church did adopt out of Botswana. And so that has had a ripple effect, and now it is affecting the missionaries there. So there is a lot more members of the church now in Botswana. I would say there's maybe 3,000 members of the church. And maybe about 2,000 of those members are actually good, solid, active members that go to church every week, that partake of the sacrament, that fulfill their church callings. Everyone in Botswana is really receptive to the gospel. You can get into just about any door and people will listen to you. They're so willing to pray, they're so willing to read their scriptures and to just open up to you. So it is really receptive. People just love you. They'll see your name tag and they'll see that it says Jesus Christ on it, and they will run to you and say, "You know Jesus Christ, I want you to teach me." Or, "I have a friend who has a drinking problem, I want you to teach him." And so they are really receptive, and they know what the missionaries look like, and they love missionaries.